Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing kind of like a neutral cat eye with this cool toned pink lip. And yeah, so I posted a picture of this look on my Instagram yesterday, so I decided to film it for you guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and have up 2 videos a week, I think. I'm gonna do one makeup video and then one like either story time video or I don't know, whatever I feel like doing at the time. I usually don't work on Fridays and Saturdays, so I'm gonna try and film on the weekends. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye. All right guys, so to get started, I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Professional Primer, and I'm just gonna focus that really on my nose, forehead, kind of around the Cupid's bow area, and a little bit on my chin. I just try and focus it wherever I have any texture, or on my nose I have like blackheads and pores and stuff, so I just try to focus on that. I don't really need it on my whole face. So you just want to pat that in before going in with foundation. And then for our foundation, I'm going to use the Studio Fix Fluid in the color NW15, I believe. And then I mix it with a pump of my Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15. Just because this foundation is just a little bit too dark for me. Story of my life, every foundation's too dark for me. And then I'm going to take my damp Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm just going to buff all of that out. I like to blend it a little bit down my neck as well, just to make sure that it matches with my skin. Like I said, I'm super pale, and I just like to give it a more natural look and make sure I don't have any streaks or anything. You really want to take your time with this part, make sure that you're blending everything out. I think sometimes it's easy just to whip through doing your foundation, but I really like to make sure that I'm pressing it into my skin and just giving it that flawless finish. So yeah, you're just going to want to keep blending and blending until your little paws just fall off from all the blending. Then I'm going to go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC15. I'm just going to put that underneath my eyes super sloppily because I just don't care. And I'm going to take that under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my chin, and then put it on my Cupid's bow. And also I'm going to put it up on my forehead. And then once you get your placement down, you're going to want to go in again with that damp Real Techniques sponge and buff all that out. Again, you're going to want to take your time with this, make sure that you're blending everything out and not leaving any lines or anything between the foundation and the concealer. And I have a whole video on my foundation routine. I switch things up all the time. I mean, it's pretty much what I do. I'm out of my Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is really sad. I just haven't gotten to Sephora or made an order yet to get any more, but usually it's what I would use. So we're just going to keep buffing all of this out until we have a seamless blend. Does anybody else struggle with allergies? Because it's been brutal lately. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a mixture between the vanilla powder and banana powder from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm just taking those underneath my eyes, and I'm also going to put it again down the bridge of my nose, forehead, anywhere that we put that concealer. We're just going to set that to keep everything from creasing or getting oily or anything like that. And then we're going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, pressed powder in the shade Translucent. And I love this stuff. It's so cheap, but it's like great, and it keeps your face matte, but not too matte. It doesn't look powdery, and it just like keeps my foundation on. I just love it. And like I said, you can get it at the drugstore and it's really cheap. So I recommend checking that out. So I'm just going to set the rest of my face with that. And then I'm going to go in with the Makeup Geek. These are their contour shades. And I'm going in with the Warm Light shade, and I'm just going to contour my cheekbones and up on my temples and just a little bit on my chin and on my jawline. And just, you really want to make sure that you blend this out, and you don't want to go too harsh either. I notice a lot of people, I'm not hating, but I just see a lot of people with this just fat line on their face of bronzer or their contour shades, and it's just not cute. So blend it out. Make sure it's blended. You can have a sharp line, but just keep it. So yeah, once you're done blending all of that out, we're gonna go in and just lightly, super lightly, I wouldn't even call it contouring, but we're just gonna add a little bit of definition to the nose. I honestly don't like contouring my nose. I just feel like it never looks good, so I just like to add a little bit of color. So I use the shade, ooh, got all that powder everywhere. I like to use the shade Fawn from the Anastasia contour kit, and I honestly just take my same contouring brush, bronzer brush, whatever you want to call it, and I just lightly, as you can see, just add a little bit of definition to my nose. So once we're done blending that all out, we're gonna go in with some Milani Luminoso blush. Everybody has this blush, but it's amazing. You can use whatever blush you like though. So we're just gonna use a little bit of that. And then we're gonna go in with my favorite highlight ever at the moment. It's the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block, and it's in the color or the shade or whatever you want to call it. It's in Peach Mosaic, and I mixed those 3 bottom shades. And honestly, this highlight is so like underrated. I feel like nobody talks about it, or maybe they do and I just haven't heard anyone talk about it, but I love it. It's such a pretty highlight. I recommend trying it out if you haven't already. And yeah, so I take that on my cheekbones, and then I also take it down the bridge of my nose, and then I also like to do a little bit on the tip of my nose, and also on the Cupid's bow. Went a little overboard on the Cupid's bow, but what are you gonna do? Gotta keep moving. I feel like sometimes you just get you just get caught up in the highlight, you know? All right, so now we're gonna go in with the Makeup Geek, the Manny Makeup Artist palette from Makeup Geek, and we're gonna take the shade Beaches and Cream. I honestly, this has kind of replaced my Peach Smoothie. Since I'm so fair, I think this one works better as a transition shade for me. I still love Peach Smoothie, but this one seems to work a little bit better for me. So I'm taking that into the upper crease and just making it easier for when we start with those darker shades, just to make sure it has a seamless blend. And then we're going to go in with the color Sora, and we're going to deepen up that crease a little bit. We're not going to round it like I usually do. I usually always do a more rounded eye and not so much of a cat eye, but wanted to branch out a little bit and do something a little bit different. So we're just going to buff that in, and then we're going to take our E40 blending brush, and we're going to just buff that out and make sure there's no harsh lines. And then we're going to go in with the color Frappe, and again we're going to go in and we're going to deepen up that crease, really focusing on just the outer V and not bringing it too far in. Honestly, this Manny Makeup Artist palette is like my go-to. Like, I feel like I could bring it anywhere. If you're ever going on a trip or something and you don't want to bring all your eyeshadows, because I have a million eyeshadow palettes and I'm always stressing about which one to bring if I'm going somewhere, and I feel like this palette has everything you need. So if you guys don't have it, you might want to order it. I don't know if it's in stock, but when it comes back in stock, you better check it out. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the color Aphrodite, and we're going to take that on the outer V of the eye. Again, just deepening that up. We're just transitioning into the colors from lightest to darkest, just to make sure that we have a smooth blend and there's nothing harsh and it doesn't look too choppy or crazy. I think I'm getting a little bit better at this voiceover thing, but probably not. But I feel a little bit better about it. Okay, so once you're done doing that on both eyes, we're gonna just take any of the blending brushes that you've been using. I'm not naming all the brushes because these are the brushes that I use like every day for all my eyeshadow looks. So yeah, I can list the names below if you would like. But yeah, so just taking any blending brushes to clean that up. And then we're gonna go in with the Tartelette in Bloom palette. Love this palette, makes me wanna dance. And I'm going in with the shade Charmer. And I'm gonna put that shade all over the lid. It's just kind of like it's like a white shade. It's not like super opaque or like crazy or anything, but I just wanted something matte. I wasn't trying to do something shimmery. So I really do. This Tartelette in Bloom palette is another one of those staple palettes that I feel like is really good to have and great to bring with you if you're going anywhere and you don't want to bring all your eyeshadows with you. Okay, so I already went ahead and did my eyeliner off camera, tight lined, and did my wing. I'm horrible at doing it on camera, so sorry guys. Then I'm gonna go in with the shade Smoke Show, and again, this is from the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I'm just gonna really deepen up that outer V. I just like adding that little bit of darkness. I just think it gives a nice contrast and some dimension to the eye. And then I'm going to go in with one of my Morphe brushes. It's one of the ones I was using earlier. I can't remember the name right now. I think it's the M443. And I'm just going to blend out that black, or it's more like a charcoal gray. It's pretty dark though, and just blend that out. And then I'm going to go in with the Sigma E40 brush and just make sure everything's seamless. And then I'm going to pop on a little bit of mascara and get them, my lashes prepped for false lashes. And then I'm using the Ardell 117 lashes for this look today. They're definitely long, fluffy, a little bit dramatic, but they're not super intense or thick. They're, like I said, they're really fluffy lashes. So I just, I like the way this looks with this look so that it doesn't totally take away from the eyeshadow that we did. And then I'm going to go in on my lower lash line using the shade Aphrodite from Makeup Geek. And I'm just going to do it really in the outer third of my eye. And then I am going to buff that out with the color Frappe. And I'm using my Sigma sweeper brush. And then I'm going to go in and deepen up that outer corner just a little bit more using the same color that we used on the outer corner Smoke Show. And we're really just going to buff that out. And then we're going to go on the inner tear duct with Mary Luminizer by The Balm. I like using this as an inner corner highlight. I think it's really pretty. So you're just going to pop that in the inner corner. And then we're going to go in and put on some mascara on the lower lid. I like to do this after I put on my lashes. And then once you're done with this step, we're going to go in with our lip color, which is the star of the show. And it's the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Polly. I'm obsessed with this color. It's like the perfect like medium cool toned pink, and I feel like it looks good on so many skin tones, and it's just a really pretty color. I'm not usually into cool tone pink colors like this, but I feel like it looks so good with just like every eye look. So you guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already. And I'm just all about the liquid matte lipsticks. This is like I feel like I only wear liquid matte lipsticks if I'm gonna wear anything, because I just can't handle when my lipstick gets everywhere. So these are great. Alright guys, I'm just gonna finish off this look with a little bit of the all-nighter setting spray from Urban Decay, and that wraps up the look. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.